So today's video is on one of my favorite topics, sex. So I asked you guys to leave me questions on my Tumblr and my Instagram on things related to sex. Anything that popped into your mind that you wanted to know, I told you to ask away. And so in this video, I'm going to address the general basic questions because I got so many. So I decided to take the most asked questions and turn those into separate videos. I'm just going to be answering the other questions that I got that are just sort of random and basic and general. So before I begin, first of all, subscribe because I talk about sex and that's like really cool. Second, these are my opinions, my experiences, my thoughts, my feelings. I am not telling anyone what to do. I don't want you to think this is how you have to live your life or that I'm forcing my opinions on you. These are just what I believe, and what you believe might be different, and that's totally okay. Let's all be open-minded here and accepting of everyone's thoughts. Let's begin. Question number 1. I love this question, by the way. So it is, do you feel that as a female there is stigmatization that you get attached after sex? Do you think that women are just as able to make sex an entirely physical act? Yes, I believe that there's a stigmatization that females get attached after sex. It's just sort of this thing where, oh, guys, you know, they just have sex and they can just have sex with multiple people. All they care about is the physical thing. They don't want a relationship. That's baggage, you know. They just want to bust a nut. That's a horrible phrase, but you know what I mean. They just want to get it in. They just want to get laid, get it over with, move on to the next person. And then females, you know, they want a relationship. They're gonna call you and text you all the time afterwards, and it's literally has nothing to do with your gender or your sexuality. It has everything to do with the type of person you are. Some people, boys and girls, become attached because during like sexual things, they want to have like that emotional connection or those feelings involved, and other people don't. It literally has nothing to do whether you are a female or male. I know there's research out there that says stuff, and maybe that's so, but you're still going to find females that can easily not get attached, and you're still going to have males that want to get attached. So it really has to do with the person. Whatever, you know, like science and studies say, everyone's different. I, for one, actually have a hard time getting attached with things, so obviously I'm an example of a female that doesn't get attached. Okay, so the second question is, did you regret your first time, and was it what you expected it to be like? I absolutely 100% do not regret my first time, and I feel like it was almost more than I expected it to be. And if you really want to know a lot of details, because, you know, I'm trying to get through these questions and not make this video super long. If you really want to know all the details, since, you know, we're best friends, and best friends tell each other everything, then maybe I could do a story time. Let me know if you really care about knowing that. I don't know, maybe you do. Someone said, does it hurt? For me, it didn't. It was a strange feeling, but it wasn't painful. I would say it honestly depends on you, and it depends on the other person. I think it depends, but it shouldn't be excruciatingly painful. If it's excruciatingly painful, something's wrong and that's not right, and you have to like get that checked out because that's not okay. It should not ever be unbearably painful. What do I think about teenagers who have sex at a young age, like 14, 15? By the way, I love your videos. I love you, thank you. I hope you love this one. I think that whenever you're ready, you're ready. I mean, obviously to an extent, like if you're like 10, you're probably not even sexually mature. But I think that if you feel you're ready and you are comfortable, some people are ready before others, some people are ready afterwards. You know, people just mature at a different age and are comfortable with things like that differently. So I think it honestly just depends on the person. I don't think there's anything wrong with having sex at a young age, other than you don't really know yourself as much as you will later on in life. You might not have as much experience like just getting to know your body, and so you might not know what you're doing, you know? I don't know. Do you feel that sex is overhyped and that maybe it is not that special but just another activity that humans perform? I think that it's underhyped in the fact that no one ever talks about the actual spiritual connection that sex is. But I think that it can be both a physical pleasure, just a basic like, hey, I'm horny, let's fuck kind of thing, and at the same time, it can be a spiritual thing. So, if that answers your question, both. What was your sex education experience in school? Did you learn anything? Did they push abstinence and not discuss contraception, or did they do a decent job? Did your parents give you the talk, and how old were you if they did? Sorry, so many questions. It's okay. We can answer them all. My sex education experience, the only time I ever had any sexual education experience in school was in 5th grade. And it was more like a puberty thing, like they separated the boys and girls. I don't really know if I agree with that, to be honest. And they kind of taught us about like guys getting boners and periods and stuff. It was really stupid, and they also told us the number one way to like not get HIV or whatever is to not have sex, and I'm just like, okay, like let's just not talk about what if you do want to have sex. So yeah, I would say they did talk about abstinence a lot and force and kind of push it on us. So overall, it was horrible. Never talked about it again. Any other experience in school? Did your parents give you the talk, and how old were you if they did? My mom like tried to talk to me about it, and I was just like, okay, like I already know what sex is, and she's like basically like locked me in the car while we were driving and didn't let, so like I couldn't escape, and started talking to me about it. And I was like very not an open person back then, so it was really uncomfortable, but I was just like wasn't talking to her. I was like, I already know what it is, Mom. Favorite place to shop for cute bras and undies? I have literally the ugliest underwear in the entire world. Like I have like one cute pair, and I think they're Calvin Klein, and then Urban Outfitters has cute ones too, but they're always at the store, they're always large because all the smalls are gone, so I don't really have cute underwear, and I don't know. Actually, I think H&M has cute underwear. I don't really ever go underwear shopping. So how do you feel about the different types of sex, such as anal or oral? I don't have a lot of experience with anal sex. I don't really have any negative views on it. I think it's cool if you want to do that. I don't really think it's a bad thing. Like, do your thing. It's not affecting me. I don't care. I'm an open-minded person. I don't know. And oral is like fucking greatest thing ever. Like, sometimes it's even better than like actual intercourse. You know what I mean? Like, it can be even more intimate, I feel. I like it. It's cool. What do you do if you are having sex without your parents' approval? Who do you talk to? That is a great question. I would say a lot of parents don't want to know if their kids are having sex. They either just assume it or don't even think about it or try not to think about it. In my opinion, I think that's just my thoughts. I don't know. I'm not a parent. But I would say if your parents are like totally against it, you don't have to tell them if you don't feel comfortable. What you do with your body is your choice. They really can't tell you what to do. I know it seems really like disobedient to like go against your parents, but ultimately like it's your life. It's you. As long as you're being safe, do your thing. I would say friends are like the best people to talk to, or a doctor. Those are probably good people to talk to about stuff like that. But I would say friends, because I mean like talk to someone like some of your friends who have had experience and like get that stuff out there. How do you feel about sex toys and the contradictions between male versus females versus male versus female ones, like how it's creepy for males to have them but normal for women, if that makes sense? I've never really thought about it that way. Sex toys are cool. I mean, I don't have any. I've never used any. But like I said, I'm open-minded. But yeah, they're cool. Like, if you want to use those, do your thing, like I said. But like going back to the whole like male versus female, like the whole thing, like females are super stigmatized in the beginning, like we said, about how they're kind of just, they're supposed to be like very pure and like not think about sex and like not touch themselves, and guys are meant to be like all open and like horny as fuck, you know? But like I said, it just depends on the person. Lots of girls are like that, lots of guys aren't like that. I feel like females, like I said, yeah, they're supposed to be all pure, and if they aren't, then they're called sluts, and then if guys are like overly sexual, then they're called perverts, and it's just really like annoying and stupid. So let's just stop doing that. Someone said, sex is a very powerful and meaningful act between two souls and the energy they share. True. What other act would you say makes you feel the same way sex does? Honestly, laughing really, really hard with somebody else. even if it's someone like you just met or something, just like having that moment where you're like laughing so hard that you're like crying about something and like laughing together. I don't know why, I just really feel like laughing with somebody else really like brings you together and kind of makes you feel like that really like closeness, if that makes sense. Another thing is eye contact, especially if it's like with someone you find attractive, like you just see them walking down the street. I feel like eye contact is something that's really, really intimate. And I guess that could be comparable to sex, but I don't really know. I totally understand like that whole like a powerful, meaningful act between two souls. I get you. Does it hurt, and do you think you should wait till marriage to have it? We already addressed the hurt part. I personally don't think you should wait till marriage to have it. Well, I don't wait till marriage to have it. If you want to do that, go ahead. So, yeah. I mean, like, I can't tell other people what to think or what to do. That's their opinion, and it's not affecting me, so wait till marriage if you want to wait till marriage. How to get dick. That's like my favorite question because it's so like blunt and like honest. And I would say be yourself. So cliche but true. Be yourself, be super confident, and learn how to be sexually confident. And find someone you think is attractive and talk to them, get to know them. Don't mess with their emotions if you don't want an emotional connection because you don't want to hurt people. But other than that, just like work your magic, you know? Do your thing. Hopefully that works out. Is it really that bad the first time? No. How do you find people to have sex with when you live in a place where everybody is super religious and unwilling to have sex? There has to be somebody there that's not like that. I would say just branch out, start expressing yourself a little more, put that energy into the universe, and what you ask for, you shall receive. How old were you when you first had sex? I was 16. I'm 17 and have barely done anything with guys. I feel like I'm really late. You're not late. Don't stress. Don't rush anything. Do what makes you feel comfortable. Keep doing your thing. Don't worry. You are not late. That's just a whole social structured concept. Don't believe it. How do you define sex? That is such a broad, like, sex can be literally anything, like any intimate connection kind of thing. It could be, like, it depends on the person. Like, people totally think it's different things. It's a very vague term. I feel like it could literally be whatever somebody wants to define it as. What's your opinion on removing body hair before sex? Do you feel pressured to remove your body hair to please your partner and not for personal preference? I think there is a lot of pressure that girls mostly feel like they have to remove their body hair before like doing anything with a guy because guys will think it's gross. And I, in my experience, have found that a lot of guys do not like body hair, but I feel like that's just the whole social structure thing that has been like forced down everyone's throats. Like, girls aren't supposed to have body hair, and so guys think it's gross when they do. It's stupid, but at the same time I do feel because sex is something that is shared between two people, there is communication. You know, some people prefer certain things, some people don't, but I don't think you should ever do something for another person if you like really don't, you know, if it's just like a casual thing and you don't really like feel that emotional with them. You don't have to like change your whole self. You could just be like, okay, like sorry, and like not change yourself. I don't know, that feel like that doesn't make sense. This is the last question, and there's so many more questions that I might have to just make a part 2 to this video, because this video is going to be so long, and then I'm gonna have to do all those other separate videos on all the other topics that I have to do. So this is gonna be like a full-on series. So this is the last question, and then we'll have to do another video. Have you ever had a pregnancy scare, and were you worried about that your first time? I've never had a pregnancy scare, and I was not worried about a single thing my first time. So anyways, that is all for this video, but please stay tuned for the next like 5 or 6 ones that are going to be based off of this topic. And if you have any other questions, you can ask them on my Tumblr or my Instagram or in the comments below. But remember, there's going to be more videos after this, so your question might get addressed in those videos. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your kind and positive and open-minded comments down below. I respect all opinions. Let's respect each other. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys next video.